Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about the natal placement of North Node in the 6th house. So when you were born with your natal North Node in the 6th house, automatically your natal South Node is in the 12th house. So the 6th and the 12th houses tend to be the most karmic energies of the whole natal chart, showing a lot of lessons coming from past lifetimes. So when we have the South Node, which is the point of karma, showing our past life residue and an energy that we've really overemphasized. We're really gifted in that energy, and this can definitely be one of our gifts as well. But there's a tendency to stay there as like the comfort zone and become stuck. Now, the North Node shows where our soul is going. It shows the path of fulfillment or destiny. But if we solely go towards the North Node without acknowledging or rebalancing the energy of the South Node, we will also be unbalanced. So it's really about striking a balance between the two, but also even using the gifts and that quality of naturalness that we have with our South Node, to build on to go towards our natal North Node, which will ultimately be like our soul's path or our dharma or, the path of destiny. So, with these nodes, there tends to be a strong past life residue of solitude. It's almost like they could feel like there's been many lifetimes of seclusion. The image that I'm getting, or like the intuition about that, is like it could have been forced seclusion, like imprisonment, or it could have been chosen seclusion, like being a nun or a Buddha, even, or something like that, or just being, kind of a loner or someone who's spent a lot of time in isolation, maybe in spiritual study. So there's a very strong energy within the person to, be in solitude or focus on very deep things. Now, more than any of the other node placements, the eighth house, south node, north node, and the second house can also come close, but this placement of the nodes tends to show a lot of worry and a lot of vague fears and uncertainty coming up. So, this person can really struggle with their mental health because it can seem that the thoughts that are coming into their head are not even coming from them. It's almost like these uncontrollable or unconscious fears and anxieties come in and can be sometimes debilitating, or at least feel debilitating for them. People that have a heavy 12th house emphasis, so not necessarily just this placement, but I know with me having natal Saturn in the 12th house, there's certain like placements where if you have these karmic planets or like a stellium in the 12th house, it's really good to do some type of unconscious work, like healing, in the quantum field, or hypnotherapy, something that gets into the unconscious mind. Because just doing affirmations or just simple platitudes like think positive, that's not going to work with people that have a strong 12th house, because these things are not coming from the conscious mind. They're coming from way deeper than that, past life energy, as well. So with this placement of the nodes, because the south node is like the point of karma falling into the karmic house, the south node in the 12th house. It can really show that in order to fully move towards that north node in the 6th house, which we're going to talk about all that energy, um, there might need to be some type of healing done to get out of that hamster wheel of reacting in these past life energies, or these old ancient emotions are kind of ruling the person, and they might not even realize it, but that's why they stay stuck like a hamster on the wheel. Like, they just don't break out of their current circumstances that can feel like imprisonment. So this placement might sound kind of heavy, but it is, like I said, it's one of the more heavier or karmic placements. But I don't feel that's without reason. Like, this lifetime is difficult because at the soul level, this soul has chosen to use what they've learned in these previous lifetimes, this, strong aloneness, this strong, like, spiritual wisdom that they've accumulated over the course of lifetimes, to actually help others in service. This is a lifetime of service, and really, the 6th and 12th houses, there's a theme of like serve or suffer, right? But they're not going to be ready to serve until they can get out of this debilitating fear and stuckness that they can feel like they have. And it might not even be like, they might not even think it's coming from within them. It could be coming from the external world, that they just keep getting hit with all of these karmic energies and these karmic things that are like these out of control, chaotic life circumstances. And it can feel like that's preventing them from moving forward in their life to their destiny. But it's really all part of the process. It's a lifetime of clearing karma, right? And yeah, so I recommend with this one doing some type of, unconscious healing work, but then also at the same time, not getting stuck there. Because while the South Node, the giftedness here is that type of thing, if they stay too long in that energy of constantly healing or constantly working on their unconscious and working on themselves, it will inhibit the North Node's activation, which is actually about like the day-to-day service and doing something helpful, usually for themselves, but also sometimes even for other people. This is like one of the nodal positions you'll see for people that are healers, that work with people in some way. Even this one you could see in the medical profession. One of my books says that this placement of the nodes is likely to have like a miraculous healing in their lifetime, where they have physical symptoms of something, and then nothing works via the medical field, and then they end up having like some sort of miraculous healing, and then they end up learning how to use this healing energy to help others. So it's a very complex position, but there's definitely an energy in these people of being a healer and having like even healing hands. Like, they might be drawn to like Reiki or like hands-on healing massage or things like that. That would be an excellent use for this energy. So yeah, there's a great like comfort in seclusion and solo study, but in order to feel truly fulfilled, they will have to integrate this knowledge that they've gained and then use it to be of service to others in the planet. The 6th house North Node shows that we are here to actually focus on the practical aspects of life. Now, they may feel like they're always getting dragged back into the chaotic unconscious and all these fears and all of this vague anxiety and or external circumstances that are just out of their control, right? Now, that's all true. That probably is also happening, but it's really about, okay, I'm going to master this, and then I'm going to use this as a part of my mission, as a part of my service to humanity. So it's a very deep placement to have with your nodes. So the south node sign is going to show the energy where we kind of get stuck on that hamster wheel of like, the negative thinking can be related to this sign, or the negative habit patterns. You really want to look at that sign and, look at the potential shadow aspects of that sign, because when something's in the 12th house, it's kind of like the shadow gets to just go crazy. So that's the energy that they need to like bring awareness to and hone in on and be like, okay, how can I be this energy in a more healthy way? And then the sign of the North Node is going to show the service mission, what they're here to do in the day to day, the energy that they can actually focus on practically to bring out in their day to day life. And it's also going to increase their health. So, like I said before, there's often some sort of health crisis with these nodes. The 6th and 12th houses can be related to health problems that are usually very unconscious to us. So, by focusing on that North Node sign, and integrating both of them, it's not about abandoning the South Node, but it's about bringing awareness to where we're a bit unbalanced in that energy and how it's actually inhibiting us, or keeping us stuck in these old unconscious fears that we're not meant to stay in this lifetime. It's not a lifetime of seclusion. You've already done that. And the North Node placement is really going to be like the ticket to health and to practicality. There's something very precise about these nodes, and also the North Node in the sign of Virgo as well. It's about coming out of the chaos and the Neptunian waters of Pisces that are just like so all encompassing and confusing, and bringing it back to the here and now, the present moment, attention to details, attention to the physical body, right? So it's not about being stuck in bed for days researching on a topic. It's about, using that wisdom that you've gained, maybe researching a little bit in seclusion, and then going to the gym, or, going to body work, or having a healing session, having a massage, like coming back to the day to day, the practical, right? Cleaning your house, decluttering, right? These are all kind of 6th house North Node things that can seem so basic, but are really healing and really will feel fulfilling and like you're on track and like you're on mission. The other thing that's sort of just a practical side that people will say about the 6th house is pets, right? Caring for a pet. That's also kind of 6th house related. That's something that can be very healing for people with the 6th house North Node. But then again, you also want to look at the sign of the North Node. That is the energy that's going to lead to the order from the chaos, which is really what this lifetime is about, is bringing order to the disordered, coming out of that. It just seems so vast and so overwhelming, that energy of the 12th house, and to actually bring that to consciousness, because we have the gift of astrology, we have the gift of knowing this is going on, and then using it to serve others and the planet in some way. And it might not be service on like a huge level. That's the thing about the 6th house, is it's kind of the day-to-day work that we don't really get recognized for, or it's not, necessarily work in the public eye either. It could be like volunteer work that's not seen, or work around the house that's not seen, work on your physical body that's not seen. It's about being the humble servant, and you may be recognized for it, but you may not. And it's about doing it anyways because you know that it's right for your soul and in your soul to give, and the giving and the serving in the way that you uniquely can because you've spent lifetimes preparing for this, that's going to alleviate the suffering. That's going to alleviate these vague fears and uncertainties that you tend to get stuck in. It's going to really bring you back down to earth. And yeah, you'll really be like one of the most precise people. Like you can actually end up being like the energy, it's hard to describe, but the energy of people with these nodes is so pure. It's so divine. It's so like earth angel energy. It just feels so light. And it's because they've mastered this overwhelming, chaotic, emotional, past life karmic energy, and they're actually using it now to deal with the practical sides of life. Like they can end up being some of the most effective, talented people in the world. But it's definitely not an easy task. Like I said, that the 6th and the 12th house are the karmic houses, and then the south node and the north node are the karmic points, or at least probably the most karmic point of the natal chart. So it's a big task here. It's not easy to describe, and it's not easy to live, but it can end up being one of the most miraculous stories when we have these nodes, where it's a really inspiring life. And it's definitely tinged with the divine and something otherworldly, something out there, and a spiritual wisdom that, yeah, has been preparing for this lifetime. Like, this is it. This is the culmination point of all of that wisdom. And now it's time to actually use it and live it and be the example through your service and through your health and your order of your life that has felt so hard to achieve. So, yeah, I'd love to know your experience of these nodes. If you have them in your natal chart, I'd love to know what it's been like for you, or if you know someone close to you who has these. Yeah, let me know in the comments, you guys. And thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll talk soon. Bye.